Well, I can guarantee you somebody else didn't figure it out to watch a YouTube video. Is I think that's what this little modification of the floor is. I think they cut the floor to be able to drop the trans down with the shifter on it. So I got the goddamn thing all pressure washed here, removed a fucking ton of grease. As you can see, 19 and 19 on the firewall. That means this cabin frame haven't been swapped or anything. They've been together their whole lives, which I kind of figured. Yeah, got her all washed down. Took apart the fucking interior here. Washed it all out last night, but I never took apart the dash until today. And well, she's a dusty mess, and she's got a couple of fucking mud wasp nuts fucking buried in things. So blow this fucking thing out, paint the floor, paint the frame. A lot of painting, and then we're gonna do the fucking clutch bolt here. I'll take you through that, and then once it's all set, we can plop some back in there. She's coming along though. Painted the firewall. It's a fucking rattle can here. Not going for perfect by any means, because I mean, it's gonna look like this for right now. Got the fucking frame all chassis sabered. Got to take off the wheels to do the fucking outer shit here. But all right, now it's time to come here. Now it's time to come. Guess what, guys? There's still edibles involved today.
No.
At least for me.
I haven't had it yet. I want to wake up tomorrow.
Yet. Anyways, now it's come time to fucking mate the SM465 to the 5.3. You guys might be wondering, how the fuck are you going to mate that old-ass fucking antiquated transmission to this newer motor? Well, all I got is one answer. Because Chevy. They make it that fucking simple. You just rifle through the parts catalog and you find what you need. So step one of making it work, you need a fucking pilot bearing or bushing. A couple ways you can go about it. You can get the fucking style that goes in here, that's inset, but because of the crank differences, see how this guy's flat? See how that protrudes over there? Yeah, that's, what was it? 500 thousandths fucking difference. Something like that. I can't remember the exact measurement. But because of this being flush, if you use the internal fucking bearing, you don't pound it in all the way. You leave it spaced out some, so this guy will have full engagement. Well, the other way of doing it is you get bearing number CT, yeah, right here, CT 1082, or you search for 125-575-83 on Rock Auto, and that guy will come up. It says it fits a lot of things, but mostly it's 96 and newer Vortec powered Chevy trucks. Like 02 or newer S10 with the NV3500. You can find this bearing. Well, because GM's fucking awesome, that's the exact same size as the crank. So you pound that son of a bitch in, and you ain't got to worry about fucking spacing it out to have full engagement on that fucking thing. So that's step one. So step two is you need a fucking flywheel, obviously. The small block Chevy one ain't gonna bolt up because, well, that's a small block Chevy pattern compared to the LS pattern. I set it up here. So that one is the one I used on the Red Rocket when I made it up a 700R up to the 4.8. You needed the extra spacing for the torque converter to work. That's what that spacer is in the center. Otherwise, it's a flat flywheel. This one's the dished flywheel that came on this fucking motor. And then right here is a 01 to 07 4.8 or 6.0 equipped Chevy 1500 or 2500 flywheel. And then obviously there's the small block flywheel. As you can see, the install heights are the fucking same.
To get started, you need something straight with accurate marked dimensions, a ruler.
But this one, the center is not touching the ground, whereas that one is. This will make up the extra distance between the crank flanges being different as far as the offset. Sorry, I can't use my fucking words to describe this right.
I just don't know how to express myself sometimes when I need to be properly different.
But basically, there's some people online that'll say if you use one style flywheel, you only have about 80% engagement. But with this flywheel being dished instead of a flat flywheel, it will make that up. Flywheel number I'm using is FW2776. It's at fucking AutoZone, as you can see, it was 80 bucks. Rock Auto, it was $85, and that was before fucking shipping. So sometimes it does kind of pay with some shit. Fucking look up your local parts store. It was right in stock too. Ain't no special order or nothing. And so now you guys might be asking me what the fuck I want to use for the clutch and pressure plate. I'm just going to use the ones right off the 350. A, they've been replaced, but B, obviously the input splines to the clutch are going to match. The other thing is GM in their infinite wisdom. Even though that uses metric bolts, the pattern's identical. So that fucking pressure plate will bolt right up to that flywheel, no problem. They never really changed a thing. That clutch can be used on that T10 over there, or an SM465. Oil-covered Legos, exactly. I mean, you know, Fords are cool and all, but that's why I'm a Chevy man, because good luck doing this with a Ford. I mean, just a couple of year changes, and you're like, oh, we decided to change the bell housing pattern, or we decided to change this or that. I mean, they're cool. They're good trucks, but in the end, interchangeability is not a thing with a Ford. There you guys go. Let's slam this fucking thing together. So, got her snugged up on there. You're going to want to torque these in 3 passes, 15, then 37, then the final pass is 74. And you don't want to do it in a cross pattern. Kind of like that fucking guy's star.
Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah.
So the next fucking steps of doing this here is there's 2 alignment dowels that are in this flywheel here and here. Just grab a pair of fucking vice strips, yank them out of there, or don't be a burnout like me and, you know, just come from the backside and tink them out with a hammer and punch before you mount it. Okay, we got the flywheel on there all torqued. Now you need to align the fucking clutch. Well, you can have the right tool, but why would you do that? Because, I mean, finding it. But this is what we did on the rollback when we did this. Same exact clutch, basically. I got this alignment tool. I don't even know what it was for. Saturn something. I don't know. Probably not. But it fits the... It matches the input shaft there perfectly. And what we did is we wrapped tape around it until it fit in here perfectly. So, there you go. That's all you need for an alignment tool. I've used a broom handle before, like all sorts of fucking shit. But, yeah, it's not hard. And, like I said, it's metric hardware now for this on the flywheel. So, that's the metric hardware I got laying around. We'll slide her on and be right back. So, the only other thing here, fellas, is every other hole, 3 of them, you got to fucking drill out just a little bit to fit the 10 mil hardware versus, you know, 3/8. But just give them a little razzle dazzle with a step bit and make the hardware fit. Guys on there, time to slam it on. So there we go, it's all installed. You want to Loctite the fuck out of everything, obviously. You don't want it to come apart, but the pressure plate, bolt it to, or torque it to 52 foot-pounds. And here we go. Oh, would you look at that? It goes in and out, no problem. That trans will slide together, no fucking problem. That's how you do it, fellas. Simple. Rifle through the fucking GM parts bin and boom, you can build anything. Just, yeah, number 2. There we go. Well, there we go. All fucking bolted up, and look at this. Clutch does clutch stuff. Look at that spin. Look at that action. Fuck yeah.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yes.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
They're slow cooked according to our secret family recipe with a touch of brown sugar, a blend of spices, and rich molasses.
Now, I know what you guys are fucking thinking. Man, Wes, you painted that, did the fucking chassis saver and chassis saver rust. It's gonna look really good, and you're just gonna throw that ratty fucking motor in there, you know, not even clean it up or nothing, paint it, nothing. Oh, hell no. I mean, you gotta do it professional. So what I'm gonna do is just paint over the fucking grease and dirt. I mean, I blew it off. I mean, I spent the 20 cents in electricity, you know, and I blew the thing off, you know, blew the big stuff off of it. So, I mean, it's clean one owner now. Don't wanna forget about this guy. He's gonna handle all the torques. Sad part is, fellas, even fucking around, having a fucking laugh, that does look a million times better. Welcome on back, fuckerheads. Got the motor and the fucking transmission bolted back in. The clutch does fucking clutch stuff. Now we're gonna make the throttle do throttle stuff. Here's the stock fucking cable that came in this thing. Problem is as you can see, is way too fucking short. So you just remember to take the LS one off, and believe it or not, because yet again Chevy's fucking awesome, just feed that guy right through that hole there. And you might have to fucking is it a square hole, and that's not square, even wallow out the hole a little bit, but it works no fucking problem. And then you come on into the other side here. There it is. As you can see, you got the same connection as you do the throttle cable you take off. Yeah, fed through. And look at this. Look at that. It's doing throttle stuff. Holy shit. I know, crazy, right? Alright, well, and got the exhaust all fabbed up for both sides. So as far as the exhaust goes, this is from Corvette, the flange. I reused the pipe. You know, cobble it all together with the exhaust bucket. And then the exhaust bucket gives some more. I need some gaskets for up here because, as you know, they're related to a Corvette. They want $25 a piece for a fucking gasket. And I said, fuck you. So the exhaust bucket provides. I think this was like an Audi gasket or something. I don't know. All you need is a fucking ring gasket that sits down in this fucking groove here and seals up against the manifold. Simple as that. This gasket, modify it to work, and this side's just a stock LS truck gasket for the driver's side. So, but again, it fits in the fucking groove there, and it's gonna seal up against the manifold. That's all that matters. So, a little tech tip with the exhaust. It's fucking simple, fellas. So we got two systems left: power steering and fuel system. Power steering is pretty simple. Like I said, if this was hydro boost pump, it'd have another outlet here, and I'd be able to plug in this fucking hose, no problem. But it doesn't. But as far as the stock lines go, the stock line from GM 88 will thread right into that power steering pump on the LS, no problem. It's threaded in there, good to go. We got one return already on it. Hook up one hose to that. Usually this guy down here, which I gotta take the fucking bend out, but cut to the fucking length. But yeah, we're gonna add another fucking return here. Worst case, I go to the junkyard and pull the proper pump in case I fuck it up. So step one with this is you're gonna need a spark plug, and any old spark plug will do. So step two with this fucking spark plug, you want the ceramic part of the plug. You need this gone though. So take your death wheel and cut away. So there we go. That's what your fucking spark plug should look like now. That's a fucking drill bit now. Guess you didn't know that. Who would ever thunk it, right? And the reason I'm friction drilling is it's going to give me more material. It's going to melt the steel in. So then I have a bunch of thread engagement instead of like 2 threads if you drill it out normally. So let's go see if this fucking bullshit works. So there we go. Got my fancy spark plug drill bit for fucking $0 loaded up. Let's see how good or how bad this ends up. Oh god. Oh, we broke it. We're almost through too. The water's starting to do something. We're getting pretty close, but the spark plug broke first. Alright, modifying an Autolite spark plug. Never been used. Well, I think we're almost through. Or not. I don't know how the fuck this is supposed to work. Fucking YouTube. Alright, fellas, fucking scratch all that bullshit. I'm done cutting up fucking spark plugs. I'm just gonna drill the fucking thing and have like 2 threads. Because fuck it.
Never half-ass 2 things. Whole ass 1 thing.
So if your intake's like mine, you got provision for an EGR. 03 and newer, they didn't this hole is there, but they didn't like knock out the fucking plastic. So you can use an 03 and newer intake, or you can spend fucking $0 and make your own plug for it. Cram a fucking bolt in there, and then there's the fucking hole. Weld that fucker shut. Time's come for the fucking cooling system. Yeah, it's got a face again and everything. Look at that. Fucking look at how sharp that is. Door lines all line up beautifully. Yeah. But anyways, piece of candy. But time has come for the cooling system. Now what you're going to want to do is, this is the stock LS radiator out of the 9907 Silverados. The reason I'm using it is because it's got a steam port. Some of these, you can use the stock radiator that was in the truck, because there's a port on the fucking rad for a heater core hose. You just adapt it down to the steam port size and you're good to go. But the rad that was in this truck was original and it was fucked, so I'm going to use the LS rad. So how we're going to do this is, you got the LS on the 9907. This guy slides on there, and this slides through a hole on the fucking frame. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to take those off, and we're going to use the stock mounting points, because stock, they use a piece of rubber on either of those. Use a piece of rubber down here, and what do you know? It just lines up with the fucking size that's in the truck. So we're gonna trim those off and then fucking mount it stock. The whole reason I'm doing that is because I'm running a mechanical fan, and if you try to mount it in there without drilling out a huge hole for these fucking things to go into, with the fan shroud on there, the fan's hitting the bottom of the shroud by, you guessed it, about that much. So we're gonna trim those down, fit the fucking thing in there, and yeah, you'll see. This is what I'm talking about, stock mounting points. They're slotted. You got a couple different slot sizes for the different fucking radiators you can have in this thing. LS one should fit those two right there, the stock smaller size radiator. So now that you got plastic whacked off.
Sir, we're looking for these two fugitives.
Well, I'll be danged. That's them two kids that have been whacking in my camper.
And put the switch in. And look at that. Like I said, right in stock fucking mounts. And this is the best part. Slide the fucking fan shroud in here, which, by the way, it clips to the rad. And look at that, the fan fits now. It ain't smashing the bottom of the truck. Wow, there's a lot of shit in that fan. Then just forget to tighten that up. I think it'll be just fine here. So that solves that. And would you look at that? Those line up. Might have to trim the shroud a little bit here, but be good to go. There we go. Fucking whole cooling system's in. Everything's recycled from the 9907. Got the upper rad hose, lower rad hose, which it's a little close, doesn't rub, but I'm going to put a piece of wire loom or a piece of hose there to protect that from chafing. Reuse puke jug. Like I said, if you change your radiator and have some kind of steam port hookup, you're good to go. You don't need to use the puke jug. It could just be a regular radiator cap. But again, this is as low buck as you can fucking do one of these swaps. So it's not the prettiest thing, but I took a piece of tube, welded on some threads on either side, cut off the bolt head, weld the fucking stud back in there, and yeah, she's fucking mounted. Ain't going anywhere. Now it's time for the fuel system. Again, cheap as fuck. This is one of the fittings off of the LS to begin with. It goes from the quick connect on the fuel rail down the metal line. This is the 5/16 return line. I'm just putting some rubber hose on there. I flared that out like I said in the ramp truck video. Doing that fuel system, and yeah, run this thing down, just avoid the exhaust. Simple as that. So these are the fucking nylon pinch clamps I was talking about. All you do is you fucking put it on there, grab a pair of pliers, trying to do this fucking one-handed, and basically it pinches that together, and boom, ain't coming off there. This is the high pressure side. I wasn't able to reuse the LS one that turns to metal because, well, it got damaged. So instead, this is off like a blazer or something. This quick connect, that's all the end that you need. Sure, it doesn't look like the other one, but you slide that clip on there and it's just like a regular quick connect. There's like many different fucking styles of them. You pick and choose whatever ones you want to use. I just, again, this is just the lowest buck fucking LS swap you're gonna fucking do. So that's why we're using quote-unquote garbage. Alright, you guys are probably fucking wondering, Wes, what the fuck are you going to do with the fuel system here? Well, it's really fucking simple, just like everything else, because fucking GM. You just buy a sending unit. That's a carb sending unit. It's only got the fucking one wire on it for the gauge. Well, instead, you just buy the sending unit that belongs in this with TBI injection, which would be this guy right here. That's the sending unit I went with, FG05M. It should go right in place of that fucking sending unit, same fucking height and everything, because it uses the same fucking tank. It's just it was TBI injected. Problem is though, TBI fuel pump doesn't put out enough pressure. So, by just a sending unit, and you go rifling through the GM parts catalog some more, and you look up a 93 or 94 S10 Blazer with the Spire injection in it. It uses the same style pump that goes in place of this, what a normal TBI pump would be, but it puts out the pressure the LS needs. There's part numbers for you. I went cheap as fuck on it, but I would suggest getting like a fucking Delphi or AC Delco fucking pump if you can, but this was also like 10 bucks, so yeah. And this tank's easily accessible underneath the truck, so I won't mind changing it. Again, LS swap on budget. Assembling these goddamn things is fucking simple. You got a fucking sleeve that you slide over that makes the pump less fucking noisy. Got this fucking guy here that just clips on. And then you use a fucking supplied piece of hose that they give you that slides on the pump, the other side on the sending unit right there, and clamp her down. And then slide on the sock. That's the other reason why I went with the sending unit. It came with the sock. Sometimes, well, most of the time, the sending unit nor the fuel pump comes with a new sock. They used to back in the day, but you know, again, get you can buy more. So, but this one came with the sock. That's why I chose it. And there we go. That's what it looks like assembled. The fucking connector on the sending unit plugs into the pump, no problem. And the sock, it's just a press fit. Just press the fucking thing on there by hand and make sure it doesn't come off, and you're fucking good to go. Let's take that old piece of shit out. So when you're doing this fucking shit, press there's your friend, because look at all the fucking rust that comes up. Really simple. All it is a fucking locking ring. Even this one being rusted up, it came free. You just gotta give it to her. And don't be afraid about giving it to her. As long as you don't fuck up the tank, get a new one with the kit along with a new seal. So. Alright. Holy yummy. Units clock the same, and the height between the two is the fucking same. And this fucking gauge will work, no problem. So, see, that's why you can just put this in and no worries. Oh yeah, the LS is gonna love running on that. Whatever, that's what they make fuel filters for. Before you slam on your new O-ring here, just kind of make sure the groove doesn't have any big rust in it here, so the ring will seal. Well, that guy wasn't gonna fucking seal. Amazing it did it in the first place. Slam the new ring in there. Float in. Lock the thing. New fucking stamp ring. Best part is my sending unit didn't fucking work on this thing, so
Exactly. Get two birds stoned at once.
installation is reverse fucking removal. See, fellas, that's fucking simple. You ain't gotta spend hundreds of fucking dollars to have a fuel system for a fucking LS. Literally. Everything with this swap is stock fucking GM shit. You just gotta remember to write down your part numbers that you fucking have, or in my case, have a fucking video. Alright, well, it looks like a fucking truck again. It's got a fuel system, it's got an exhaust system, it's got a power steering system. It's got all the systems. But the fucking wiring system. Oh no! Guys, I'm gonna break it down. This shit ain't fucking hard. Really isn't. If my caveman ass can do it, you can do it. But what we're gonna start with is the truck harness that originally came off this fucking thing. Reason we're starting with it is because you need it, because this is how the inside of the truck, the fuse panel, gets power. Alright, so you got the bulkhead connector that connects at the firewall to the fuse panel. Simple shit. Then what we got, you got the fucking wiper bullshit right here. Okay, no problem. Next you got, this is power for up on the firewall right there. You gotta save that. This green wire right here, that's for a temp sensor. We're gonna save that. This long fucker, that's for the fuel gauge. I'm gonna save that too. So, a little further down, we got oil pressure right here. We're gonna save that fucking wire. This is for a different oil pressure sensor. It's for the distributor right here. This fucking plug, see ya. All this shit over here. All of it, gone. And then right here, simple. Both these connect to the starter. This is what feeds power right here. This guy with the fusible link on it. This is what feeds power to the fuse panel. You gotta save that. The purple wire is the start signal from the ignition switch. So save that. So this is step one. Basically, we're gonna thin this fuck out, save what we need, get rid of what we don't, bolt it into the fucking truck. And there we go. All fucking slimmed down. All the fucking air injection bullshit gone. What we got left here? This is for the fuel sending, this is for the fuel gauge from the sending unit. There is a check engine light in the truck, even though it doesn't have a real computer. It's for the air injection, and it's this brown and white wire. Leave that out. Got these two wires already in there that go to that guy in the firewall. What we got over here, this guy is the oil pressure for the gauge. And one right here is for the charge light / gauge. This guy was originally for the HEI distributor. You know, it had plug on it, plug it in. Well, that's one ignition source. We got a second one here from the electric choke heater here. Got one there. And then this one's from the air injection bullshit. So we should be all set on all switch ignitions that we need to make the LS run. So there we go. And then the only other one we got left is the green. That's for the temp gauge, if I actually had a temp gauge instead of the mechanical one, but I'm still going to leave it out. And of course, power to the fuse block and the small purple one for start. See, simple as shit. Need fuck all to do this. So I want to try and find some wire loom this up. Then we're going to install in the truck and make sure those two extra switch ignitions that we found actually have power on them. Got bulkhead connector back in with the headlights and taillights. We got our switch ignition here. Now I got a battery hooked up and shit. We can turn the key on and make sure all three of these have 12 volts going to it. And in theory, it should fucking crank over. Alright, wire one. Hey, it's got 12 volts. This is the one I know that was to the HI distributor. Look at that, 12 volts and fucking 12 volts. Hooray! Like I knew what I was doing. Pretty simple with GMs. Doesn't matter fucking year. Same goes with the LS harness. Pinks, no matter if they got a tracer on them or not, chances are about 90% of the time it's switch ignition. And if it's orange with even with a black tracer on it, that's 12 volt fucking battery power. So, and then of course black with a gray tracer, that's ground usually, and the rest good fucking luck. Next fucking day here, you saw this. It had fucking power to the whole truck. It had headlights, taillights, yada yada. It fucking cranked. But obviously the son of a bitch ain't gonna run unless you put this fucking thing in. I know. Holy fuck! So many wires. You're probably gonna reach out and fucking strangle you, and you're gonna fucking die while doing it. Jesus Christ, oh my God. Listen, guys, it is not fucking hard. I've already went over this once in my Red Rocket episode there last year, 2 years ago. I can't fucking remember. But listen, like I said before, if this fucking greasy caveman can do this fucking wiring, you can do it. You don't necessarily need to be able to reprogram the computer like I can. But just to be able to build your own wiring harness, it's going to save you so fucking much money. Don't get me wrong, the fucking Holly kits, they're fucking tits. But that harness is specific to fucking the Holly Terminators or whatever, so you can't use a stock computer. And in the end, you're spending what? Fucking $2, $3, $4 grand on those fucking systems to be able to run your engine? You just fucking use what you got here. It's fucking simple, especially this being a 4-speed manual. There's a lot of shit we're going to be getting out of here. The information's out there on the internet. It's on lt1swap.com. I know we're doing an LS swap, not an LT1 swap, but website has been around forever, but he's got a whole 27-page fucking breakdown that I was smart and printed off years ago. Step by step, what the fuck can do. And here, he's got highlighted and everything. These are the two computer connectors right here. The blue connector and the red connector. The shit that's highlighted in yellow, you can delete. But we're going to be deleting even more because there's no automatic transmission. Now, normally I don't use it, but if you really have a hard time with this, don't bolt on your intake or have a spare LS intake manifold laying around. And it'll fucking help you out with how this fucking shit goes. Because you got to remember, harness mounts on the intake right here. And basically you just got legs coming off of it. You guys, simple shit. It's just, it's a little time consuming. That's all it is. But with this printout and the fucking step-by-step, it's fucking simple. It's just wires. It's DC voltage. It's not AC. It ain't gonna fucking kill you. Worst that happens, I guess, if you're a complete fuck up is, you know, you might burn your fucking, burn the truck down, which might burn your shop down. But that's on you. And it's pretty evident when there's a problem. You hook up a battery and, oh, that fucker was sparkling like a motherfucker. Maybe I shouldn't hook this up. Maybe I should go looking. So, easy as hell, cheap as hell, and you're kind of stupid not to fucking do it. And if you really want to be a barbarian, all you do is you cut all these connectors off, find all the pink wires, and then the couple orange wires. The orange is constant power battery, and then all the pinks are switched ignition. Just twist all the pinks together, twist the oranges together, supply them both with fucking power, and that's how I got the fucking LS on the cherry picker. 350 versus LS shootout. Full barbarian on fucking wiring. Hooked it up all half and it ran no problem. At that point though, you got a bunch of extra shit in the harness, which looks even uglier. Especially with this, you're gonna have plugs just fucking hanging out doing nothing. It weighs more, you know, weight reduction, it's a race truck, vroom vroom. But on top of it, if you combine all these pinks together, you're going to have switched ignition power going to places that aren't even hooked up. Just, you know, more chance for fuckery to happen. So, if you're going to do it right. It's fucking simple. With this shit, you're going to need a pair of dikes. Side cutters. You don't want to be offensive. Somewhat half an X-Acto knife, box cutter. And then a little pocket screwdriver to take the pins out of it, because yes, we are de-pinning the computer part, but it's simple as shit. You don't need any special tools. Alright there, fucker heads. This is what we got left. Harness is ready to go in the truck. That's the mass airflow. It needs to be shortened up, but I ain't doing that until I put it in the truck. That's the crankshaft position sensor. It used to go around, down under the motor and back over. So obviously I'm going to have to shorten that up some once I get the fucking harness in the vehicle. This is blank because I got an electric fan and vehicle speed output from the computer in case I ever need to use them. But everything else is just what it needs. It's all tucked up nice. Cover's going to sit on there good. Back here, we got the 4 wires, 3 of which are switch ignition sources that I need to hook up, and then the other one is constant power for the computer, battery power. These 4 or 5 wires are going inside the truck. That's why they're so fucking long. But I figure route it back at the firewall where everything is. It's going to be all nice and good. Not going to stick out like a sore fucking thumb. So yeah, came a long fucking way from the fucking spaghetti that we had to that. So much cleaner looking. Oh, and right here is the final fucking product of all the shit left over. Look at all that fucking electrical taping. Got a bunch of aluminum left over, and look at all those fucking wires you did not need. Crazy. And that's after I took some of the wires back to lengthen other wires and shit. Time to install this fucker. Installed. No, seriously, fuckers. Simple. Just like you had it on the fucking mock-up intake or the intake before you installed it. Just run your shit accordingly. Ain't fucking rocket appliances, believe it or not.
NASA.
Rocket people, perhaps you've heard of them?
It's NASA.
Start with this fucking guy, mount bracket, work your way from there. Don't forget to hook up your fucking grounds back here too. And while it's in here, as you can see, the mass airflow harness, way too long. Gonna cut her down, shorten her up. Same goes with the crank sensor. It used to run all the way around. Now it's just going down with the starter wires. So see how beautifully that worked out though? Look at that. But the O2 sensor plug, perfect. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. I already pulled it out. This is the fuel pump control. The relay's gonna go right about here so I can get power there. So I pulled it out of this. So these four are gonna go inside the truck. This one's for the OV2 port. Hook up scan tool. That's a tack reference. Even though I don't got a tack, I'm gonna run it inside. This one's for the check engine light. And this one I don't need to hook up. I'm gonna do it anyways, just so the computer knows when I'm on brakes. Brake switch. So run those inside and hook up these and add a computer and a fucking fuel pump relay, and it should fucking come to life finally. Alright, everything's in here. Got the hidden fuel pump relay just kind of stashed there for right now. Got a 4.8 computer in, even though it's a 5.3, but that's because I had it laying around. Didn't feel like unlocking that one, so it'll start, it'll run. Might be a little lean if I took it down the road, but I ain't taking it down the road, so everything's connected here, hopefully, and yeah.
Nice air filter.
Yeah.
Fuel pump.
And gauges. Alright, here we go. First fucking start.
Hit her again.
First fucking shot. There we go.
Yeah, smile for the camera.
Man, this is like the quietest LS I've ever heard.
I know, dude.
This is
Yeah, it's too quiet for a square body.
alright.
Yeah,
Is that on camera?
I hope so. Yeah, it is still recording.
I don't know what that noise is. Beep, beep. Yeah, alright. First time it's running here. Got the hood back on. No coolant. Got power steering though. I'll take it back and forth to the driveway.
Got brakes.
Clutch seems to engage just fine. Clutch is working great. Takes it right off and, well, first, but, you know, that's on 465, it's second, depending on what year you fucking look at it, but taking off in second here, I mean, she went, man. She went. Yeah, fellas. Gotta hook up a couple wires in here, put the dash back together, and time for a test drive. Not even on the road, haven't even test driven. First fucking thing, load the thing full of your goddamn scrap metal. It's fucking everywhere. And load the carcass of its old fucking engine up. Good fucking truck. Alright, kids. Time to take it for its main voyage here. Got all the volts. Got good amount of oil pressure. Got 190 on the temp gauge. Gonna get some fuel. Don't even acknowledge that light. I still got the 4.8 computer in here that was in that when I had a 4.8 with a huge camshaft. Yeah, we'll see how good it runs, boys. Have not done any fucking tuning. Well, the LS definitely has enough grunt for it, I can tell you that. And the brakes kind of work. Holy shit, score. Well, made it to the gas station. No e-brake. Is that DD fucking Speed Shop? No, no, way too nice. Alright. Put some fuel in her. Time to go to the juice house, because that's always a test drive. Oh, you got all 4 fucking gears. Doing 60. And yes, it's got a fucking backup beeper. Well, made it to the fucking juice. Still got all the volts. More than enough oil pressure. I mean, you only need like 5 or 10. And I mean, she's running right at 190. Fucking beautiful here, fellas. Yeah. According to that, I haven't actually looked on my phone yet. I believe it's going to be pretty close. Yeah, the 2 big gauges are just we're actually doing 55. So the speed was off by almost 10. Yeah. Going fast. Yeah, we're going fast. Alright, well, the test drive was great success. Went to the scrapyard, no problem. Got rid of all the fucking bullshit from the truck. So, time to work the fucking thing. Here we go. Let's haul a fucking race car. Got the Dale car behind the LS Swap CE30. A little bit of welding, a little bit of paint. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, I'm way more confident about that now. Race time. Let's fucking do this. So, yeah, fellas. Couple minutes into the trip. This thing tows like a fucking wet dream. And, it's not even breaking a sweat. Man, I love this truck. About time I have a heavy-duty truck.
Heck yeah! How much red line?
I don't know. All of it. That transmission started making some weird noises. It was in granny low during all of that.
Oh, so that just sounded more. Get off me.
I mean, it was a lot of RPM, but it wasn't a lot of wheel speed, probably. Oh my god, get that truck.
Wait, where's your temp gauge?
Oh, it's fucking right at 190.
Nice.
So, we're revisiting this again. Because now we got an actual thing that holds the trailer on, an actual tongue. And, we're not on a giant fucking hill. We're not stupid. We're gonna ratchet strap it down once we get it up there this time. Well, there you go, snorts. That's the story of the fucking C30 here. As you can see, got the fucking dang old Dale car here. Got a whole couple videos of racing coming up here, so don't you worry about that. I just want to say thanks to my couple new Patreons here, Ryan Fleck and Zachary J. Roberts. Appreciate it, fellas. But yeah, that C30 made it no fucking problem. Thing's a fucking champ. Best fucking truck I ever owned. $1,500 square body at this point. Bought it for $1,000, got about $500 into it in parts for the LS swap, and truck's fucking awesome. So yeah, fellas, just want to say thanks for fucking watching this shit. Thanks for sticking with me. Thank you to all my fucking Patreons. But I want to get going here. Got a bunch of to do. More fucking videos are fucking coming. I swear, I got them. It's just time, man. Time is something I do not fucking have right now. But I fucking appreciate it again, fellas. And don't put your hands any place you want to put your fucking dick.